ZocDoc provides an online way for patients to book doctor and dentist appointments instantly. So with a few simple clicks, you can find a doctor or dentist who accepts your insurance and make the appointment online 24 hours a day. Patients love us because we take what most people find to be a very cumbersome process, which is finding a good doctor or dentist and finding an available time with them, and we totally simplify it. Doctors love us because we help them fill open appointment slots. We've done a lot of user testing, and we try to make it as simple as possible. And what we found is most people, when they see this page, they get instantly what it is that we do, even though it's actually a new service that we're offering. All someone needs to do to find a practitioner is simply type in their city or zip code in the top big search box and click search, and they're off and running. One thing that I wanted to point out on this page, we have this concept of featured dentist and featured doctor on the bottom right. What that effectively is our way of communicating to people. That's when they see that, they understand what we do because the clickable times make sense to them. So we're not just another doctor directory where doctors pay, to get listed per se. This is a booking site where you can make instant appointments, and the times they see there on the featured dentist or featured doctor helps them see that. So that's not an advertising mechanism. That's just us rotating through our practitioners to help people. This is the search results page, and this comes up very quickly. And what you'll find after entering a zip code is we give patients the two things that matter most to them. Number one, where is this practitioner? Are they located near my house, my home? They have a Google map. They can scroll around. They'll see all the different pins for all the practitioners who come up. And number two, what times do they have available? What works with my schedule? I don't have to do this whole back and forth with the assistant. I can find a time that works conveniently for me. There's a couple of further refinements you can do to your search. So, in this case, if you have a insurance carrier, you could enter in who your insurance carrier is, and we have all the plans represented in our system. We'll automatically tell you who's in network and who's out of network. We are providing further value to consumers who use the site by providing them with detailed information on any practitioner. So all they need to do is click on the face or the name of any of these practitioners. Here we ask practitioners to basically fill in all, this is like their Facebook page essentially, all the information that patients would want to know about them. So a personal statement, education, any publications, any awards, any board certifications, super specialties, etc. All that information will be available here, the languages they speak. On top of that, you see a more detailed view of this practitioner's specific calendar, and if they have multiple offices, you see the calendars across both offices. Some practitioners are actually planning to use this page and integrate it to their own websites so they can offer online scheduling through our system via their own existing website.
Obviously, I think when Josh explained this to me, he said it's analogous to something like OpenTable for restaurant reservations. You can go online, you can say, I need to make an appointment as soon as possible, who's available, where can I go? But I think, a lot of patients already have specific dentists, doctors, people that they see on a regular basis, and this is obviously great for them if their doctor's participating. But do you find that people are willing to go to a website and sign up for an appointment with a doctor that they've never visited before just based on some lines of text that they read in a profile?
Yeah, well, I think that this is what people are doing today. The majority of what we did 100 patient interviews when we were trying to develop the system. And what we found is when people do need to find a new practitioner, they're going to their insurance company's website. Now, one of the benefits we have from being in Manhattan is incredibly transient. People are constantly moving in and out. People are constantly changing jobs, which changes their insurances, which then changes the doctors that they're allowed to see. So I think that Manhattan, specifically being our initial market, is actually prime for this. Do I think that everybody's going to drop their existing practitioner? No, I don't think they're going to do that at all. But those people that need to find a new practitioner, which I'd say, probably about 30% of the market, people are churning every year looking for new practitioners because of what I just mentioned. Those are the folks that are going to have the highest use of the system. And over time, as we, prove to them that we have a service that's valuable, when they need to go see that specialist, maybe they sprain their ankle, they need to have an orthopedist. They don't have an orthopedist they go to all the time. They'll come and use our system. Maybe they have a really big zit that they need to have zapped, or a rash they need to have looked at, and they don't have a regular dermatologist. They'll come to our system. If you look at it within the confines of dentistry, I agree with you. People who have the dentist they like, they'll go back to their dentist. But it's going to be much broader than that very quickly.
I noticed one of the things that I don't think you mentioned on the search results that there's a number of stars next to various search results. So is there going to be a way for users to rate the experiences that they have with various doctors and dentists?
Yeah, so sorry I didn't comment. Yes, there is. After each appointment, we actually send them an email asking them to come online, leave feedback. One of the things that we think is the most powerful thing about this is that other feedback sites that exist out there, like Dr. Oogle, even WebMD, you can leave some feedback. It's open-ended. So anyone can come online, anyone can leave feedback, and what you'll see is one doctor will have 80 pieces of feedback, another one will have one. Why is that? Simply because there's just a lot of gaming that goes on in the system. People's friends are leaving reviews, etc. Only an actual patient who goes to an actual ZocDoc appointment can leave feedback through our system. So the feedback we're hoping will be incredibly useful.
How are you guys going to make money? Is it are the doctors going to pay to be listed on your site? Are you going to take a small percentage of every visit, advertising?
So there's two ways. The first way, we will eventually have advertising, and right now we're not charging practitioners, but there will be a nominal fee. We've set the expectation of all the practitioners who are using our site, and we've got quite a large number upon launch, that they will be free for the first few months of the beta period. Then we'll introduce a nominal charge, and they're all comfortable with that.
So you've reached out to doctors and dentists in Manhattan. What's that process been like? What kind of interest have they expressed? What sort of things have they said to you about the service?
I come from a family of doctors, and if you told me that I needed to get doctors sign up to do anything, I would have, before I went down this path, said that's impossible. My dad would never agree to anything. And what we found is the kinds of people that are signing up are actually not our dads. They're young practitioners under 45, so these are between, say, 35 and 45-year-old practitioners who really just want to grow their practice. And they're internet savvy. They feel as though healthcare hasn't taken advantage of technology, and what we've found is from our own marketing efforts, we've had a very high response rate for getting practitioners. So we initially wanted to go live with just 10 practitioners, and we ended up with a list of 130 folks that are interested in us, and we did that with very minimal effort. What we figured out is that we are appealing to their number one need. The need. We're not trying to make things more efficient. We're not trying to take paper and make it electronic, which is, it's great and it helps them out, but it's like the fifth thing on their list. The need to see more patients and make more efficient use of their time is the number one need for docs, and they're confirming that by signing up.
Now, obviously, we've all had an experience, I think, where we've gone to a doctor's office or a dentist's office, and because somebody early in the morning was late to their appointment, the whole day has been skewed. By sort of trying to pack these things in on a website and saying you can sign up 3 hours in advance or 1 day in advance or, very, very short notice and go to an appointment, does that run the risk that not only are the doctors going to have a more efficient schedule, but that, there could eventually be longer delays, or is that something that you're not really going to know until the beta period here?
Actually, what I can tell you, we spent a lot of time thinking about this because the 10021 zip code has the highest density of practitioners in the world. There are more doctors and dentists per in that region than anywhere else in the world. And everyone's constantly wondering, why do I have all this wait time? And when we started to peel the onion back a little bit, what we found out was the reason why there's a lot of wait time is that practitioners get a decent number of cancellations. There's a lot of busy people in Manhattan. They're constantly, anywhere, there's a lot of busy people that are canceling on them. So some practitioners, what they do to account for this is they actually have double booking of patients. They do this because they want to make sure they don't have that open time slot. What happens on some days is that they have a decent number of cancellations and they can go through the day without any problem. Other days, there are no cancellations, and the doctor happens to have the situation that you just described. What our system actually enables to do, I would argue, is going to lower the wait time because doctors don't have to double book. They know that if they get a cancellation at 9 a.m. for a 5 p.m. dental appointment, we have a good shot of filling that time, so they're just not going to double book that time, and we're seeing that in terms of how people are rolling out our system. They're changing that process.
What kind of personal information are people going to have to put up in order to participate in the site, and why should they trust an unknown site with that information?
Yeah, so the only personal information that they'll need to provide us with is really, they've told us obviously the reason for visit because that's how we tell them what times are available. And other than that, it's the same information they would provide if they were checking out on Amazon. Really just their address and other information such as that. So we pass that information to the practitioner. Everything else that's more personal, it's just dealt with the practitioner directly.